Hi. Okay, so today I want to talk about how INFPs are often said to be very easygoing when it comes to making convictions on things, making political stances or any kind of solid conviction. We're very easygoing, and we don't generally voice our opinions on these kinds of issues. Um, we just kind of sit back and take things in and kind of chew on the different perspectives until something gets touched on that is really important to us, and then apparently INFPs are supposed to become suddenly very verbal and very aggressive about um, expressing their opinion. Um, yeah, so a lot of descriptions of INFPs online say that every INFP has some kind of secret cause, some cause that they're living for, they're fighting for, means a lot to them. We're the crusaders of these causes. Yeah, a lot of people say that is what is key to the INFP personality. But to be honest, I've never felt like I had a cause, and that part of the personality descriptions always kind of made me think maybe I'm not an INFP, because I just don't really relate to that. I'm rarely expressive about my opinions. I don't feel like I care about a lot of things deeply. I really don't. I mean, sometimes I even feel kind of like nihilistic, I just think it doesn't really matter, anyway. Yeah, but anyway, last week I realized that I do actually do this. I do actually have deep values that I don't always talk about, but they do exist. And the thing is, they're just rarely touched upon by other people, at least the people I hang around. And so I don't normally talk about them. But I was at dinner with my family for my mom's birthday, and my brother and my mom are both ESTJs. So they like to talk about. My brother's an accountant, and my mom owns her own business, flower shop. And they both like to talk about business a lot, right? They like to talk about stocks, like legal loopholes, like just stuff like that, like stuff that I really have very little interest in. And yeah, anyway, but that's what they like. So they were talking about this kind of stuff. And what was? Oh, right. My brother was talking about how he was listening to this guy on the radio say the main source of most of the debt in North America right now is student debt. It's students who are going to university, and they're taking things that they just are not realistic. They're not commerce degrees. They're taking things and then they can't pay back this expensive education because they can't get high-paying jobs. So they, being very practical people, my mom and my brother were saying, yes, people need to think more in the future before they they need to plan this kind of stuff out before making a decision on what they want to study. And I was sitting there listening to this, and it started to get me kind of riled up because I'm in an arts. I'm taking an arts degree in psychology and English. And I probably would have even minored in. I like philosophy a lot too, but I felt like this is probably my family. All my family are SJs. I felt like it was really impractical to take philosophy as a major because I don't want to be a professor or an academic, so I didn't really see the point. But anyway, I'm really into psychology, and I am into the arts. I really value the arts. This is a terrible anecdote. Anyway, so I started to speak up and say, well, there's something wrong with the system if people can only study one thing and afford to pay back their debt. It's not fair that the system is set up that, the only people who are going to be financially sound after taking their education are those who go into commerce. because what this does is it's just ignoring an entire section of humanity, a very important part. The arts are important. They're not practical, but in that financial kind of way, but they're important in that they document ideas throughout history. They document cultures. They feed the parts of the parts of us that really need to be expressed, and that just don't get any attention with, things like accounting, the arts are very important. And I just started kind of not very clearly, because I was very emotionally worked up about it, but they were talking this way, but I just started kind of tirading about how it's not fair that, this is happening. And it's not that I think, I'm not so unrealistic that I think that, academics should be paid more, or, that we should create a bunch of jobs that really there's no reason for, or something like that. But I think maybe people who go into commerce should pay more for their education than people who are going into the arts, because that way it's fair. It's like you're giving in what you're getting back. If somebody wants to dedicate their time into learning about history or philosophy, it's important to have those people who are carrying on those facets of knowledge and parts of humanity. It's not fair that they're being dissuaded by this financial aspect, or this poor financial aspect that's gonna follow them after their degree. So that was my point, and I didn't realize. So back to this whole thing, INFPs are very easygoing until you touch on a value, and then they're firm. I realized I had one of those moments. I just started going. And I never do that. I don't give my convictions, I'm a vegetarian, and I never talk about it. I don't push my values on other people. I just think people should live for themselves, basically. But this really touched me, and I became that INFP that I always read about. So this isn't going back to the INFPs as crusaders of some kind of cause. I still don't think that I'm a crusader of this in any way. I'm still, I don't know, I think I'm too individualistic to ever be someone who stands proudly and loudly for anything. I like to just keep the things I care about to myself. And, I just, as long as I'm living in accordance to those kind of standards, then I'm happy. It doesn't, I don't like to get hung up on what other people are doing, because, you just can't control everyone else. Everyone's got to live for themselves. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny that happened to me. And it was, I guess I just wanted to share that. Alright. Soon I'm going to be posting an INFP interaction that my friend is going to do a video with me. I've convinced him. So for those that follow me, thank you, and stay tuned for that. It's coming up soon. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.